the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark, unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune and turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. In shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. The Homestead Act, signed into law in 1862, was a significant piece of legislation that had a profound impact on modern American agriculture. The act provided settlers with the opportunity to claim up to 160 acres of public land free of charge, in exchange for 5 years of residency and the cultivation of the land. The Homestead Act allowed for the westward expansion of settlers and the development of the American frontier, which in turn led to the creation of new farmland, towns, and cities. The increase in agricultural land paved the way for a more industrialized form of farming and agriculture that we see today. The 1800s, tariffs were indeed a significant source of revenue for the federal government, and they played a crucial role in protecting American industries from foreign competition. However, today the global economy is much different than it was then. Tariffs can have significant economic consequences, such as increased prices for consumers and the potential for trade wars. As a result, I believe that a more nuanced approach to trade policies is necessary to strike a balance between protecting American industries and maintaining positive economic relationships with other countries. The national banking system I established was designed to create a more stable financial system in the aftermath of the Civil War. It provided a centralized control over banking, which in turn made credit more available and helped promote economic growth. The Federal Reserve, established in 1913, is the current central bank of the United States and has a similar role to the national banking system I created. However, there are some key differences between the two, such as the Federal Reserve's role in regulating the money supply and its greater independence from political influence. In my time, I was a strong advocate for fair labor and access to opportunity for all. I believed that all people, regardless of background, should have the chance to succeed through hard work and determination. If I were alive today, I would advocate for policies that address wealth inequality through a fair and progressive taxation system, access to quality education and healthcare, and government programs that provide opportunities for people to access decent jobs. In the 1800s, the American economy was heavily reliant on agriculture, with many people working farms and other related industries. Today, the economy has shifted significantly, with a focus on services and technology-driven industries. This shift has created a new set of opportunities and challenges for the American workforce. I would see the shift to a more service and technology-driven economy as a natural progression from the agrarian economy of my time. It is important, however, that workers are given the necessary skills and opportunities to adapt to the changing economy to ensure that they can continue to thrive in modern society. If I were to approach the economic recovery after the Civil War with today's economic tools, I would likely have used stimulus packages to help jumpstart the economy. Stimulus packages involve spending money on public projects, such as infrastructure development, to create jobs and stimulate economic activity. In addition, I would have used monetary policy to help stabilize the economy and promote growth. For example, I might have lowered interest rates to make it easier for businesses and individuals to borrow money and invest in recovery efforts. In my time, the economy was largely based on mercantilism, which was a system that prioritized the accumulation of wealth and resources for a nation through trade. Today's global trade networks are based on principles of free trade and globalization, which allow for more open and efficient movement of goods and services across borders. This has led to significant economic growth and interdependence among countries, but it can also create challenges, such as job losses due to offshoring and competition with low-wage labor in other countries. Balancing infrastructure investment with environmental concerns is indeed a challenge that we face today. When I invested in infrastructure like railroads during my time, the impact on the environment was not a major concern. But today, with the understanding of the impact that infrastructure development can have on the environment, it is important to consider and mitigate those impacts. This can be done through sustainable design and construction practices, such as using environmentally friendly materials and minimizing the destruction of natural habitats. It is important to find a balance between the benefits of infrastructure development and the need to protect the environment for future generations. The national debt is indeed a significant issue that has grown substantially since my presidency. Today, the debt stands at over 28 trillion. If I were alive today, I would focus on a balanced approach to addressing the debt through a combination of spending cuts and revenue increases. It is important to remember that while spending cuts are necessary to reduce the deficit, it is also important to maintain critical programs and services that benefit the American people. This can be achieved through thoughtful and strategic cuts that minimize the negative impact on vulnerable populations. In my time, income taxes were relatively rare, and wealth was often taxed through property taxes or tariffs. However, today, income taxes are a major source of revenue for the government. Personally, I believe that taxation should be fair and equitable, and that it is important to ensure that those who have benefited the most from the economy contribute a fair share to support it. While income taxes can be an efficient way of taxing wealth, Other forms of wealth taxes, such as property taxes or inheritance taxes, can also be effective in ensuring that wealth is distributed fairly and that the tax burden is shared equitably. In my time, I supported the idea of land-grant colleges, which provided funding for higher education and research in agriculture and mechanics. Today, the government should continue to have a role in ensuring that education is accessible and affordable to all, regardless of socioeconomic background. This can include providing funding for public schools, offering scholarships and financial aid, and investing in workforce development programs that help prepare people for high-demand and well-paying jobs. It is important that we continue to invest in education so that everyone has a fair chance at economic mobility and upward social mobility. Economic sanctions, or the use of economic measures as a means of political coercion, are a relatively modern development in foreign policy. In my time, I used blockades as a military tactic during the Civil War to disrupt supply lines and weaken the Confederacy's economy. Economic sanctions can be an effective tool for applying pressure on countries that engage in behavior that is considered unacceptable by the international community, such as human rights abuses or aggressive military actions. However, they can also have unintended consequences, such as causing hardship to ordinary citizens and not necessarily affecting the actions of the government they are meant to influence. The gig economy, where individuals work temporary or freelance jobs through digital platforms, can be a challenge for workers who lack the stability and benefits of traditional employment. If I were alive today, I would support policies that protect the rights of gig workers, such as ensuring that they have access to benefits like health insurance and paid leave, and that they are paid fair and living wages. I would also encourage the development of safety nets for workers in the gig economy, such as unemployment benefits and job training programs. In my time, Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection was a revolutionary idea that challenged the widely held beliefs at the time. I was always open-minded and believed in the importance of scientific progress, so I would have been interested in learning more about Darwin's theory and exploring its implications for our understanding of the natural world. Today, evolution by natural selection is widely accepted as the fundamental mechanism behind the diversity of life on Earth, and it forms the basis of modern biology and the understanding of biology. Computers and artificial intelligence are certainly technologies that have come a long way since my time, when the Reaper revolutionized agriculture. If I were alive today, I would be amazed at the speed and capabilities of modern computers and artificial intelligence technologies. I would be particularly interested in the potential of artificial intelligence to automate tasks, improve efficiency, and analyze large amounts of data. However, I would also be concerned about the potential risks and challenges associated with these technologies, such as job displacement and the potential for misuse or abuse of AI systems. Modern transportation, including airplanes and high-speed trains, are certainly more advanced and efficient than the railroads I championed during my time. If I were alive today, I would be impressed by the speed and convenience of modern transportation methods, as well as the technological innovations that make them possible and efficient. Someone who had a keen interest in transportation and infrastructure, I would be excited to learn more about how these technologies have transformed the way we travel and move goods around the country. Modern astronomy has come a long way since my time, with new discoveries and advances in technology revealing a universe far more complex and vast than anyone could have imagined. If I were alive today, I would be awed and amazed by the discoveries made in modern astronomy. from the confirmation of the existence of exoplanets and the development of sophisticated space telescopes to the study of black holes and the expansion of the universe. As someone who had an interest in the stars and natural wonders, I would be fascinated by these developments and eager to learn more about them. The Big Bang Theory, which posits that the universe began with an initial explosion and has been expanding ever since, is a far cry from the cosmology of my era, which was primarily focused on the movement of the planets and stars. If I were alive today, I would be intrigued by the Big Bang Theory and the evidence that supports it, such as the cosmic microwave background radiation and the red shift of distant galaxies. I would also be curious about the philosophical and religious implications of this theory, and how it challenges and expands our understanding of the universe and our place within it. Fusion energy, which harnesses the same process that powers stars to create an almost limitless source of clean energy, holds great promise for solving energy scarcity. If I were alive today, I would be intrigued by the potential of fusion energy and its ability to provide a sustainable and clean source of energy for the world. I would also be mindful of the technical and financial challenges that need to be overcome in order to make this technology viable and widely available. I believe that science and data-driven evidence should play an important role in shaping policy, particularly in areas such as public health and environmental protection. If I were alive today, I would advocate for the use of the scientific method to inform policy making in these areas, as it allows for the objective evaluation of different options and the identification of the most effective and efficient solutions. I would also encourage ongoing research and data collection to ensure that policies remain grounded in the most up-to-date information and understanding of the issues at hand. Balancing scientific innovation and preserving natural landscapes can be a delicate task. On the one hand, innovation in fields such as medicine, agriculture, and energy can greatly improve people's lives and solve complex problems. On the other hand, preserving natural landscapes and maintaining biodiversity is essential to ensure the health and sustainability of our planet. If I were alive today, I would advocate for a balanced approach that supports responsible scientific innovation while also prioritizing the protection of natural landscapes. This could involve setting aside areas for preservation, implementing regulations to minimize the environmental impact of development, and promoting sustainable practices in industries like agriculture and energy production. In my experience, technology played a significant role in the Civil War, and I believe it can be a powerful tool for modern leaders to address global challenges as well. If I were alive today, I would advise leaders to embrace and prioritize the use of science in their decision-making process, particularly in areas such as public health, environmental protection, and energy and infrastructure development. I would also caution against ignoring the potential negative consequences of scientific progress, such as unintended impacts on the environment or on vulnerable populations, and encourage leaders to be mindful of these issues and incorporate strategies to mitigate them into their plans. I appreciate the thoughtful and well-thought-out questions you prepared. It's always enlightening to explore my viewpoints and the world through a modern lens. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
Mics on the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No light, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Hidden in shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go. Pure and raw. Pure and raw. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Pure and raw.
Okay.